Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thank God for my life today. My people, Buhari don't die. See life. See life. The Buhari criminal man that is sent DSS and military to come and kill me middle in the night in July 1st, 2021. He died today. See life. My people, we're supposed to learn about this. That criminal man, Buhari, Muhammadu Buhari, he don't die. See, I'm alive today. I thank God. God, thank you for my life today. Criminal full animal that is with some Yoruba, with some stupid Yoruba people that gang up and come to my house middle in the night. They try to take my life, but God said no. If God say yes, nobody can say no. God said no. Thank you. Now,
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's 7:39 in the morning out of Nigeria. My name is Charles, and this is Cheesy Media. So we're going straight into the headlines on the Daily's newspaper this morning. Before, just after that, we'll get straight to the other issues. DJ Switch, the likes of Sowore, Buchi, all are speaking against Buhari. I mean, in the African parlance, they say nobody speaks bad about the dead. But as it stands right now, really, these guys don't care. They spoke really badly about how Buhari, attacks the southeast, how Buhari made people worse, how he waged war against North Central people in the Benue states, Southern Kaduna, and the likes. In fact, it was just crazy, those words that they spoke. I'm going to bring you all of those that they have said. But just before that, we'll give you some update on what's going on the front page of the newspapers this morning. We're beginning on the Nation newspaper this morning. Plots to unseat Osun Governor. Adeleke knocks Aregbesola. Wadada Ume Fadahunsi, 7 other senators set to change parties. Oh, well, change of parties is not going anywhere anytime soon. Still on the Nation newspaper this morning, we have the screaming headlines. Tinubu, African leaders for Daura to attend Buhari's burial. Body arrives Casina at noon for 2 p.m. funeral. So it's official, guys. He's going to be buried today. Yesterday, it was all over the place that he was going to be buried, but he hadn't arrived yesterday. His body hadn't arrived yesterday. I mean, it's just crazy that we are burying Buhari. But again, he is old. He's 82, and you know how it is with life. Life goes on. Governors Osibajo, Dangote, Ono, Awujale. All the details you can find on the Nation. Hits the ground running. Aida Tiwa urges new Ondo State ESCO members. Hits the ground running. That is from the governor of Ondo State. We're moving over now to the Guardian newspaper this morning. On the Guardian, we have some interesting headlines, and they are really good looking from where I am. But let's see if we can grab that. If we cannot, then we move over to the next newspaper, which is also an interesting headlines, and I'm sure that you would love to have a grasp on. Okay, so we are so sorry about that break. Moving now over to the Punch newspaper this morning. On the Punch, a soldiers bar traditionalists from Awujale's Muslim, let's see, Muslim funeral. Uh, that's this soldiers bar traditionalists from Awujale's Muslim funeral. Osibajo, governors, Oshoba, Daniel Dangote, grace Awujale's burial. Fosemboa house poised for throne as Ijebu awaits new Awujale. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Natasha fires back at Akpabio over reinstatement challenge. Interesting. I mean, this is not going out anytime soon. Dara Kinsmen Associates reflects on Buhari's final months. State burial begins in Abuja today. Interments to follow in Katsina. I was hospitalized in same London facility as Buhari. Abdusalami speaks. Jonathan visits Aisha in London as Amosun Lawan. Others arrive Daura. Tinubu appoints Akume, Ribadu, others to burial committee. Federal government delegation visits Aisha Maman Daura Abdusalami in London. All right, it's a beehive of activities across government facilities because, of course, you know, today it's an official public holiday by the federal government just to mourn President Buhari. Naira rebounds to 4 month high, trades at 1,518 to a dollar. Ogun workers begin strike over 82 billion naira pension arrears. 2027, Adeleke attacks Arebashola over plan to oust governor. 2027, Adeleke attacks Arebashola over plan to oust governor. All right, that's all we can take on the Punch newspaper. We're moving now over to the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian this morning, gunmen killed 2 evangelists in fresh plateau attack. Akpabio appeals against court's order for Natasha's recall. Akpabio appeals against court order for Natasha's recall. It's an interesting development there. Calls for metering deregulation intensify as experts warn of widening gap. Pay TV struggles as more Nigerians opt for mobile streaming services. Pay TV struggles as more Nigerians opt for mobile streaming services. All right, it's an interesting development there. Well, this pay TV can also develop their own streaming platform where people could get into. I mean, so you could go as far as even creating your own platform. These days you are given the leverage to do whatever it takes. All right, and now we are moving to the other side of the Guardian newspaper. Buhari gets state funeral as critics fault National Assembly's week-long tribute. Osibajo, Dangote, Abiodun, others bid Awujale farewell. US threatens visa validity defaulters with deportation and lifetime ban. Buhari represented unity, equity, but was misunderstood. Tight security in Daura as Katsina awaits Buhari's remains. Over 2 million Abuja indigenous people risk extinction, CSO tells United Nations. Over 2 million Abuja indigenous people risk extinction, CSO tells United Nations. You can get all the details on the Guardian newspaper this morning. And now we're moving straight away to the Tribune newspaper. If we've got that time, let's see if we can grab one or two of the Tribune newspaper this morning. If Tribune is not ready, maybe we can move over to the Vanguard newspaper. Okay, any of them that is ready, we could use them immediately. All right, see, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard, Dangote plans seaports to enhance export of fertilizers and others. That's above the mast. Buhari, Tinubu sets up 9-man committee burial holds today. Buhari, Tinubu sets up 9-man committee burial holds today. We know what committees forming could be, the amount of monies that will be budgeted is what I'm just thinking about. I hope they will make public the budgets of this so-called a burial that this nine-man committee has been formed for. You know, when you hear anything committee, you just know there's a lot of money. It's contingency fund. Something just leaves the government coffers. Nobody tends to ask questions about, well, how much was it when I was spent? Monies are just budgeted and it's in billions of naira. Nigeria is where we live, and sometimes I hate how we do things here. I hate it really. Still on the vanguard, why I support ADC's coalition but remain in PDP, says Lamido. More tributes as Awujale is buried in Ijebu-Ode. All right, let's see who we have here. Well, two major burials. Awujale is buried in the southwest. And of course, the Northwest, there'll be a beehive of activities because I'm sure that other government and presidents would be visiting Daura this afternoon for the official interment of President Muhammadu Buhari. All right, still on the Vanguard newspaper. Visa controversy or the visa overstay. U.S. threatens Nigerians with deportation, permanent travel ban. All right. This threat is becoming really crazy. Every now and then you turn on the radio or the TV, you hear threats of deportation, deportation left, deportation right. A whole lot of things have been happening lately. And I mean, if you have your country very well done, if you have your country very well neated, it means a lot to many persons because again, nobody would have to threaten you with the way and manner that they go about this whole thing. Cosmos Udechuku, many thanks for your comment. You have sent us a message. We appreciate it. It says Muhammad Buhari's death means nothing. Well, it may mean nothing to you, but it may mean a whole lot for so many persons out there, really. I mean, I know there are a lot of persons who really have felt bad about his administration, why he served the nation. I mean, there are so many persons who have said a lot of things. And I think we just go straight to those comments as made by some activists. Let's begin with what Sowore said. Sowore really went the whole hog. In fact, let's pull that out for you. That's him. All right. Those are his comments. He says, Sowore Muhammadu Buhari slaughtered hundreds. I think it was referring to the Shiite group. Muhammadu Buhari slaughtered hundreds of Shiite men, women, and even children. He ordered soldiers of the Nigerian army to open fire on peaceful as protesters waving the Nigerian flag. He disappeared Dadiyata. Well, so says Sowore. And then he ordered the massacre of young Southeasterners whom he branded IPOB. He disobeyed court orders, jailed critics arbitrarily, destroyed the economy, and ruined everything he touched. And now, because he's dead, some people with selective memory want us to mourn or worship him. Shameful. No, we do not mourn tyrants. We remember their victims. No, we do not mourn tyrants. We remember their victims. Muhammadu Buhari has no soul. Oh my goodness. I mean, these were his words on his Instagram page only yesterday, and it was quite stunning, I must say. It was quite stunning with the way he has said it. I mean, he is not the only one who has been making comments regarding Buhari's stay in office. There are some other persons who made some comments that are quite a thing for us to watch out for. Let's see if we can grab a thing or two from Rinu. Rinu Odwala, of course, she says that part of the reasons why she is not in her country today is because of Buhari. It says, quotes, the evil Buhari committed against Southeasterners in his lifetime was unimaginable. He waged war against the Southeast. Both young and old were extrajudicially killed. The whole region was placed and is still under military siege, while he forgave terrorists in the north. It also continues by saying that the evil he committed against the middle belts, the middle belters, was genocidal in nature. Families were wiped out almost on a daily basis. Children, women, men slaughtered, and many displaced up till now in Benue, Kaduna, Plateau. The military will drop bombs on civilians and call it a mistake. Wow. She captured it there in her own words and was quite touching the way it's been placed. I mean, you could remember all those dark days, though. I mean, everybody remembers all these things that were done, right under our own noses. We also had the Buchi make comments in that regard. Let's see. Buchi made this comments. It says, I know we all want to get preachy, but you cannot ask people who were negatively impacted by Buhari's presidency not to rejoice over his death. Real lives were lost, real people suffered, and real families endured extreme suffering. Buhari's life isn't more important than all the lives wasted as a result of his clueless governments. You cannot force legacy. How you live determines how people feel when you pass away. It's not wickedness, it is consequences. Wow. Tell us what you think in the comments. Would love to hear from you. Would really, really love to hear from you from wherever you're watching us from. Tell us what you think. As usual, of course, you can send us a message on the number showing on the screen, or better still, just like Cosmos have done. You could send us a message. Mohammed Buhari's death means nothing to him. I'm sure that he's, from his name, he's a Southeasterner, and he probably must have felt the heat from that point of view, where he stated that it was really bad for him to have waged a war against the Southeasterners and calling or ordering the shooting at Mpo. And there's a video of also going around, just before he's finished his administration in 2023, where he actually said if he had done anybody wrong, that they should forgive him. But again, it's not that easy. If you say that people should forgive you, what have you really done for them to forgive you? Power, they say, is transient. You're not going to stay in power forever. So many things kept going through my mind as about this particular issue. The leaders that we have today in this country, do they know that they're going to die someday? Especially the ones that feel larger than life. Do they know that it takes nothing really for you to pass away? And when you pass away, the only thing that you will be remembered for are the things that you did, whether good or bad. I'm talking about the leaders today, the likes of Tinubu, the likes of Wike, and even the governors across board. When you look at what these guys do every single day, you tend to ask yourself whether they know that they are mortals and they could die at any point in time. I really don't know. Someone like Wike will come and be boasting and be dancing just because he won his predecessor in court. He does Thanksgiving and dances and feels larger than life, as if politics is the end of the world. The leaders that we have today, somebody actually said something yesterday. I think it was Isaac Fayoshe. He was saying something along the lines of, how can two former leaders of the country be taken to London for treatment? The likes of Nelson Mandela of South Africa actually died in South Africa. Why? Because he trusted the hospitals there. What does that tell you? It tells you that our today's leaders really must learn a thing or two from Nelson Mandela. Today's leaders don't look at the future. If you look at the amount of monies that is being paid for the presidential clinic, it's on the budget, and of course, once it's the budget, anything that has to do with the presidency has to be moved, has to be paid for. But if you see year upon year, years gone by, every year you see a lot of budgets, a lot of monies, humongous amount of money is being budgeted for our budget for the presidential clinic in Abuja, and yet no president uses that clinic. Then why do they keep budgeting monies for that particular clinic when every small headache that the president has, they want to fly abroad? Every small neck pain the president have, they want to fly abroad. And so why are we not even looking at building a very, very huge health facility that can take care of presidents, governors? Why must we always have to fly out every time just because we are privileged? And so when all these leaders fly out, what does that tell you? It tells you that they have failed to build the ones that they have. They have failed to put monies, into the ones that they have. It is just terrible. I just it's painful to watch. It's painful to see, but it's something that must be said. Every single governor that has small malaria will fly abroad. Every single president that has small headache will fly abroad. Anyone who has more, their kids, of course, are abroad. So it also gives them out as saying that they don't budget enough for a health facility. They don't budget enough for their own health facility, because if they do budget enough for the health facility, all of those treatments will be done in Nigeria. There is no governor that doesn't have governor clinic within the capital of their state, but no governor is treated in this country. No sitting governor is treated if he has an ailment or so. Is even ordinary checkup, none. And that's part of the reasons why they will refuse to even when they budget, they will not release the monies for the health facilities. It is terrible, really. I just thought that this is very important to put out. And, be it as it may, there are some persons who would criticize the likes of Sowore and Buchi for saying what they said. But, I mean, these are lived experiences. These are what exactly they felt at the time that he was here. But Buchi, captured it very well, and very rightly so. I know we all want to get preachy, but you cannot ask people who were negatively impacted by Buhari's presidency not to rejoice over his death. Real lives were lost, real people suffered, and real families endured extreme suffering. Buhari's life isn't more important than all the lives wasted as a result of his clueless government. You can't force legacy. Oh well, that point really grabbed me bad. You can't force legacy. Buhari's life isn't more important than all the lives wasted as a result of his clueless government. You can't force legacy. How you live determines how people feel when you pass away. It's not wickedness, it's consequences. OMG, this is really bad, I must say. And Rinu came on with hers. The evil he committed against Middle Belters was genocidal in nature. Families were wiped out almost on a daily basis. Children, women, men slaughtered, and many displaced up till now in Benue, Kaduna, and Plateau states. The military will drop bombs on southern Kaduna and say it's a mistake. And of course, she also captured what he allegedly did against Southeasterners. All right, let's put that out. The evil Buhari committed against Southeasterners in his lifetime was unimaginable. He waged war against the Southeast. Both young and old were extrajudicially killed. The whole region was placed and is still under military siege, while he forgave terrorists in the north. Let's look at what Sowore also said too. Let's see what we have here. Sowore, went down to the soul and listed a couple of things that it's really paining him. I'm sure that he captured it in a way and manner that he thought best. Muhammadu Buhari slaughtered hundreds of Shiites, men, women, and even children. He ordered soldiers of the Nigerian army to open fire on peaceful NSARS protesters, waving the Nigerian flag. He disappeared Dadiyata. He ordered the massacre of young Southeasterners whom he branded IPOB. Okay, he disobeyed court orders, jailed critics arbitrarily, destroyed the economy, and ruined everything he touched. And now, because he's dead, some people will selective memory want us to mourn or worship him. Shameful. No, we do not mourn tyrants. Remember their victims. No, we do not mourn tyrants. Remember their victims. Muhammadu Buhari had no soul, he concluded. Really sad, I must say. Well, that's the size of the package for today. I hope to come back a little later because, of course, Buhari will be buried today, and we know there are several heads of state and, of course, their representative across the continent of Africa and around the world will be coming for that burial. I'm sure it's going to be live on different platforms, but we're going to be playing some excerpts for you if you are able to join us a little later. All right. We would keep an eye on what's going on and bring you up to speed when anything breaks. Remember, this is the platform for you to basically follow when it comes to anything breaking news, and of course for you to contribute on the show. All right, contribute on the show 247. If it's breaking in the middle of the night, we're getting it. If it's breaking by 2 a.m., we're getting it. If it's breaking by 6 p.m., we're getting it, whether it is Nigerian or it's African or even anywhere around the world as it affects you. All right. Thank you so much for being part of the broadcast for today. We're back tomorrow at 7:30. But before that, remember that we could apparently come again a little later during the day to bring you up to speed on some of the latest development. I want to appreciate you once again for joining us. See you on the next one.